Yo, Trev, you know what time it is?
Yes, it's showtime, Jay.
Well, hey, man, you know what that means.
I believe that means it's time to get this thing rocking and rolling.
Well, hit the music because it's time to get rolling, big fella. Let's go.
Let's go. Hello and welcome to The Game Plan. Our show is brought to you by Bringing the Heat Media and 4D Leaders. This show is dedicated to using sports to create positive change. So be ready to get inspired, uplifted, and empowered through thought-provoking conversations specific to the world of youth sports with some of the top minds in the game. I'm your co-host, Trevor Rosenthal, MLB All-Star and single-season save record holder for the St. Louis Cardinals, with Jason Holzer, co-founder of 4D Leaders and best-selling author. Jason, hey man, good to see you. Real quick before we jump in, I know we have a really exciting guest today, but I think this ties into it. It's that time of year. We've got a few months left before we head into the new year. And I don't know about, I guess I do know about, you're a lot like me. Like, we want to hit the ground running. We want to make the most of these last couple months in the 2024 so we can get off to a head start in 2025. So just want to encourage everybody with that type of mindset. Keep it up. That momentum is important. We talk about it in sports all the time. At any level, the team with the most positive momentum usually comes out on top, and it works in our lives just the same. So, Jason, how are you doing today?
Hey, man, I love this time of year. It's a fun transition. Even though it gets dark at 5 o'clock, I've trained myself. I'm like, what's the opportunity here, right? So it's, maybe we just moved, so it's like, oh, and I can work on organizing the inside of my house, or spending more time with my kids on playing board games, or whatever it may be. And the one thing though, like, I want to encourage people onto, like, this is a time of year where it's easy to get caught in a lull, right? Like, oh, it's dark outside, oh, the holidays are coming up. A lot of times people let themselves go and fall into bad habits. Well, I want to encourage you to stay with what you're doing, or build those better habits as you move in. Don't wait till the new year to use that as an excuse to say, oh, well, I'll wait till January 1st. And that's why I'm excited about having our guest on today, man, is because Dr. Arnston can help us with some of those nutritional things, as she's the CEO and founder of Energybits, which is a really cool algae-based nutrition. It's a food for optimal wellness. And as I've had conversations with Dr. Arnston, it is fascinating how we are so naive to the different things that are available to us nutrition-wise, even in this day and age. So, Trevor, I'm excited about having her on. Dr. Arnston, thank you for joining us today. Excited to have you on the show. How are things going with you?
Yeah, great. Although I just noticed my name was spelled wrong. It's Arnston, Arnston. Got an M in there, but no big deal. We'll get it fixed later on. But yeah,
we'll make sure we have that right.
I'm rocking ready. Of course, it's partly because I'm very optimistic and positive, and always have been all my life, but I'm supercharged because I algae tablets every single day and have for 15 years. And so I'm the poster child for showing people the results of taking algae, which looks after your body, loves your body, especially young athletes, old athletes, even if you aren't an athlete. It's just so nutrient dense, and it's a multi-billion-dollar agricultural crop in Asia, where they have taken it every year. By the way, the Chinese Olympic team, they feed spirulina algae to their athletes every single day. And so we don't know about algae here in America because it's just not grown here. And 99% of it's grown in Asia, 99% of it is consumed there. So why should the Asians be the only ones enjoying great mental, physical performance, longevity, skin, hair, digestion, sleep, performance, recovery? I want you and your family to see and enjoy these benefits too. So I've devoted myself, I spent 15 years doing the research on algae nutrition, and it's my pleasure to share with you some of my findings so that you don't have to do all the heavy lifting I've done for you.
Nice. Yeah. Dr. Arnston, thank you so much for joining us. And this is really interesting, as an athlete myself, and anybody that's looking for high performance, when you start checking things off the list, nutrition plays such a pivotal role, and really nutrition affects so many areas of our life. So how we're fueling our bodies is important. But maybe for those that might not be familiar, can you tell us about Energybits and the role algae plays in athletic performance?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I need to establish that algae is a food. So that's why we don't have the NSF certification, because that's for supplements. You don't get NSF certification for your hamburger or your salad. Same with algae tablets. You don't need it because it's food.
That's a good distinction, and that's something that I wasn't aware of. So yeah, thank you for pointing that out.
Well, because in supplements they've blended so many things, and there can be a small amount in the item that you're using, and if it's so small they don't need to put it on the label, and that can cause the athlete problems. But with algae, just like a hamburger, there's one ingredient. It's just either spirulina or chlorella, and we grow ours in triple filtered spring mountain water in Asia, and then we dry them into little tablets that we call bits, because they are bits of food. Nothing else in there. And what makes us unique is that we don't use high heat to dry it, so we preserve all the nutrients that are necessary to get that maximum benefit. Most other algae companies don't. They use high heat, which deactivates these critical nutrients. It's like, if you buy a car and you don't check under the hood to be sure there's an actual engine in there, the car's not going to do much for you. Well, same with most algae companies. They use high heat, so it's just not going to deliver the benefits that you would get. So a couple of things. NASA has endorsed algae for over 50 years as being the most nutrient-dense food in the world. Algae there's macroalgae like seaweed, and there's microalgae like what we're talking about today, spirulina and chlorella. Microalgae has 1,000 times more nutrition than any other fruit or vegetable. Excuse me. That's a quote from NASA, and even the United Nations has endorsed spirulina algae as the answer to world hunger. Why? Because it has the highest protein in the world. It has 3 times the amount of protein as steak. All of this is scientifically proven, by the way. There's 100,000 studies that document all the benefits of spirulina and chlorella algae, which are the 2 algae that we sell. Any athlete knows you need protein. Well, actually, you need amino acids. Your body, most people eat animal protein, but your body takes days to break that down into amino acids, and you need the amino acids to build your muscle, to build your brain, to build your cells. They're used for everything. Algae has 18 of the 20 aminos, including the 9 your body can't make. So it is a complete protein. And in case some of your athletes are vegan or paleo or carnivore, let me tell you, algae fits into every single dietary group. The carnivores love it because there's no lectins or oxalates, which can cause damage to your stomach lining. The paleo people love it because algae was the first life on Earth 4 billion years ago. There is nothing more ancestral than algae. It was the first life, not just the first plant, first life. So when you have something that has so much protein, it also has the highest chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is very important for building your blood, for killing bacteria in your mouth, in your colon. And as an athlete, and it builds your immune system. You want a strong immune system so that you are out there playing at 110% with your practices, with your games. When you go on tour, that's stressful for your body. You want to do everything you can to build your immune system. And so spirulina gives you the energy and the nourishment that you need to perform optimally, and we can talk about that in a minute because it has the highest protein in the world. And chlorella algae pulls out toxins and builds your immune system so that you're stronger for your games, for your practices. You won't be sidelined by a cold. If you do get an injury, chlorella contains things like chlorella growth factor that speed up the recovery of anything. Doesn't matter whether it's LASIK eye surgery or shoulder surgery. If you're a baseball player, we've had some baseball player NBL who took the algae and their doctors were stunned at the speed of the recovery. So both of them work very well, and they work completely differently in your body, which is why you need both of them. Spirulina is the nourishing algae that gives you energy mentally and physically, and athletes know one of the first things that goes when you're tired, whether you're a marathon runner or a baseball player, is your focus, because you're tired. Spirulina, we call our spirulina Energybits because it gives you energy. It gives you energy at the cellular level. So this is not a stimulant. A stimulant speeds up molecules. Stimulant are things like coffee, sugar, chemicals, and it's like putting paper on a fire. You get a burst of energy and then a crash. Spirulina, because what it does is it generates cellular energy at the cellular level. It's like putting a log on the fire. So it's steady energy. No sugar, no caffeine, no chemicals, no rush, no crash. Steady energy. As a baseball player, you know you have the longest game program of any sport, and so the endurance of staying with it is really tested. Spirulina will give you the endurance on every day and throughout the entire season.
Catherine, that's a great point, and I love that the science behind it. I have this conversation a lot with parents specifically because they're picking their kids up from school. They got to get them something to eat. Then they have a practice. They have a game. There's short windows of time where they feel like they're running through like fast food joints. They're not getting like a lot of proper nutrition, and then they're worried like, well, my kid's not really like they're struggling. Like they're having a hard time. They get tired easy. Like they lose their focus or you name it. So let's talk to parents and coaches about the struggle with providing optimal nutrition, but how algae can be incorporated in a diet to enhance that energy and recovery in a way that will help them not only feel like remove those hunger cravings, but also make them like help them perform at a higher level too.
Absolutely. And I haven't really shown you yet, but the algae, we grow it in fresh water, we air dry it without high heat to preserve the nutrients, and then we press them into these little tiny tablets that we affectionately call bits, because they're bits of nutrition, nothing else in there. They're about the size of a baby aspirin. And so parents, not only are these great for your kids, they're great for you too, because we know particularly children don't like vegetables very well, and let's face it, guys don't like it either. You never have to worry about eating greens again, literally, because the spirulina and chlorella have the highest concentration of phytonutrients, chlorophyll, all these nutrients that you get from vegetables, and it still gives you all this protein. And for adults, the average amount we suggest are 10 tablets of spirulina in the morning because you're tired and hungry in the morning and you want to get out your door, and same with your kids. And then we suggest 10 of the chlorella tablets, which we call recovery bits, because they help your body recover from basically anything, and it's a green algae. So spirulina is I call it your nutritional insurance, because it gives your body everything that it needs to perform optimally, mentally, physically. And chlorella I call your health insurance, because it builds your immune system, pulls out toxins, helps you sleep, helps you have bowel movements, and it pulls out toxins. So, but for children, you can give them as much as you want, because again, it's food. Some kids want 1 egg for breakfast, some want 4. Same with algae. You could give them the adult dose if you want, but we generally suggest half of their age. So if they're 10, give them 5 spirulina in the morning or before a game, and then have them 5 chlorella before bed. So that's the dosage amounts. But the great thing about spirulina in particular, and if you had to choose between one, this would be the one I would recommend. It's technically a bacteria. Why is that important for you and your children to know? There is no cellulose wall, 0 fiber. Why is that important? Because it gets into your bloodstream instantly if you chew it. I will admit, most people don't like the flavor. It's very chewy because of the high protein. But kids think it's fun because it turns their tongues green. So you can turn it into a game. I know when I was a kid, we used to eat those blue pops, and we didn't like the taste, but we loved how it turned our tongue blue. We thought that was so funny. Same with the algae. It will turn your tongue green. The kids will stick their tongue out. They'll want more. Honestly, give them more. So this gets into your bloodstream so quickly, no digestive distress. So if you're picking your kids up and you need to give them something quickly before they go to their soccer game or whatever the game they're playing, swimming, doesn't matter, this will give into their bloodstream instantly if they chew it. within 5 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes if they swallow it. No digestive distress. It goes direct to the cells, and there's no sugar. Sugar is an inflammatory. It causes insulin spikes. It can affect your ability to focus. We have parents giving this to their children. It helps with ADHD on the spectrum. Coaches are telling me when they give this to their teams, their focus is so great during the game, and it's partly because of the essential fatty acids that are here, the nutrients that protect your mitochondria. Your mitochondria are what generate cellular energy. They're basically the electricity for your body, for your brain, for your digestion, for your sleep, for your heart. And so when you have more electricity, it's like you have more lights on. So your focus is better. You've got more lights on. And that's what kids need. And it's steady light, not just flickering light. Flickering light's that the sugar effect, right? That's the up and down, up and down. Never happens with this. So you can help your child be nourished. Again, that calls your nutritional insurance. And then again, if they've played hard or they're traveling, or you get kids together, they share germs. How lucky is that, right? Then the germs travel through the team. They travel to the family. You give this to your children every night. We say at nighttime because this will pull out any toxins they've been exposed to, whether it's glyphosate on the field or stuff in the junk that they're eating. This will pull it out, and while you're sleeping, this is when your body goes through a repair cycle. This is when your body gets rid of what I call the junk in your trunk, because it also stimulates peristalsis. So this is what we want you to give your children at night or after the sport. So other professional athletes take this after your game or certainly before bed. Again, 10 tablets would give you the immune support. Adults, you'll need closer to 30 to pull out the toxins and for the full benefit. But this does take an hour and a half to get absorbed because it does have fiber, so it also helps your gut. It helps your immune system. It helps your gut biome. This is the nutritional energizing algae and because your brain has the highest number of mitochondria that generate all that electricity, put your lights on. This is brain food. This is heart health. This is nourishment. This is your nutritional insurance. Chlorella is your wellness detox health insurance. And they are food. Mother Nature gave this to us 4 billion years ago, so I can't take credit for algae. I can take credit for growing it so safely that you can give this to your newborns, your pets, because there is nothing in the world safer and purer than our algae. We do third-party lab tests. We're not sold through retail stores. We're sold through doctors' offices, cardiologists, nutritionists, wellness centers, longevity centers, because this is medical-grade food. It's athlete-grade food. And we want you to perform and feel your best, whether you're the parent of the athlete, the coach of the athlete, or the athlete yourself. And let's not forget your pets, too, because they're part of the family.
The pets sometimes become the most important. Yeah, but I'm sold. This is awesome. Thank you for all the information. So if it's not available in retailers, what is the best way to go about finding your product?
Yes, well, our website is energybits.com, ENERGY, B for boy, T for Tom, S for Sam.com. We write a full blog every month explaining all the different benefits. There's lots of science. And we do have, excuse me, a 20% discount code for all of your listeners. The code is GAMEPLAN, all one word. You can get it off any product. We have the best value are the bags. They have 1,000 tablets in the bag. Now, if you're an adult and you're taking 10 tablets a day, a bag would last you 3 months. And here's the best part of all. With the 20% discount code, and if you take 10 tablets a day, that works out to $1 a day. You can nourish your body and your brain, protect your health for $1 a day. This can eliminate your fish oil, your multivitamin, many of your other supplements. So it wipes out a lot of other expenses. If you can swallow water, you get the nourishment you want in seconds. There's no prep. It lasts 3 years. We have an expiry date of 3 years. What vegetable lasts 3 years? Which vegetable takes no work? What vegetable can you travel with to the gym, to your game, put them in your lunch bag, your gym bag? eat as many as you like. Our NHL players put 75 spirulina in their smoothie before a game, so they have focus on the ice, speed on the ice, and they put 75 chlorella. We work with the Detroit Red Wings. We have for, I think, 10 years. They put 75 in their smoothie after the game to pull out lactic acid, speed up the recovery. For $1 a day, you can't even get a coffee for $1 a day. So nourish your kids, nourish yourself, effortless, instant, pure, guaranteed, scientifically proven, endorsed by the United Nations, NASA, doctors all across the country. All algae is not equal, though. Be sure you're getting something that's from us at energybits.com, or you could get live or frozen spirulina, but then it tastes terrible. When you swallow these, there is zero taste, zero. No repeat like fish oil. I can't take fish oil because it repeats all the time on me. You don't need fish oil when you take spirulina. And I tell people, where do you think the fish get the omega-3 from that's in the fish oil? They get it from algae. So save the oceans, save yourself, save the rancid, because it goes rancid before you even take it, which is inflammatory. I know this almost sounds impossible to believe because it's so good, but it's all scientifically proven. Algae isn't new. It's just new to you. And it's new to you because no one told you about it. It's not grown here, although I do plan to grow it in Florida. We grow ours in Taiwan. Just like chia or matcha or kiwa or bone broth, these are things, collagen powder, by the way, algae has more collagen in it than collagen powder. And athletes, listen up, good for your joints. But nobody knew about these things, even though they've been used in other countries for centuries, until somebody told you about them. So I'm here telling you about algae, spirulina and chlorella algae. They will change your life. They will change your trajectory of your performance, your health, make everything easier, effortless, and it's food. Can't go wrong.
And I'll attest to this because about a month ago he sent me some samples, and I had my 8-year-old start with them. He's like, "What are these, Dad?" I was like, "Well, they're algae. They're like eating vegetables." And he does a pretty good job eating vegetables anyways, but like he just swallowed them, and I was like, "Oh, they taste like nothing." And I was like, "They're going to help you play sports better. They're going to help you focus better." And he was like, "Okay." And now he got my 5-year-old on it as well, so he's taking them too. And we like ran out of the samples because he was like, "Where's my greens? Where's my greens?" They like literally asked for them. And like in my oldest last baseball game, he took 10 before a game, about 30 minutes, like you recommended. And I don't know, coincident or not, but he had the most focus and best energy that I've ever seen him play. And he's not the most like, yeah. So anyways, to your point about whether kids or not will take them, like they're super easy. Like they literally like, you put 5 in your mouth and they boom, they're down like that too. There, so.
And if they want to chew them, they can. I chew mine all the time. You can add them to trail mix. They taste delicious with pistachio nuts or macadamia nuts. You can grind them up and put them in a smoothie. Whatever, it all works. We just need to get them into people. And at $1 a day for 10 tablets a day, so it's even less obviously if you're for children. It's affordable. And there's a guy by the name of Brian Johnson who's been in the media a lot because he's doing all these biohacks. And actually, I met him last weekend at a big conference. But he's been spending, I think, $3 million. He spent $5 million to knock off a couple of years off his age, but his chronological age. And I won't tell you how old I am, but I've knocked 30 years off my age, and it's only from taking algae. So, okay, I will tell you my age. I'm 78, but my biological age is 30. Because everything in my body works perfectly. I take no medications, no other supplements. I sleep well, I poop well, I work out. I just did a Tabata class and a bar class back to back last night. I usually do 4 classes at a time. And I mostly have young interns working for me, and they can't keep up with me. So I'm the real deal, and you will experience this yourself as well. And I can't emphasize how effortless it is, how clean and pure it is, and that it's food. So you can be absolutely sure that you're giving your family something that's very nourishing and healthy.
Well, I'm sure everybody's going to be after hearing your explanation, rushing to the checkout line. So be sure to use the discount code Game Plan. Is that correct? All one word?
Game Plan at energybits.com, and just come and visit us. We're here to help you. We're 15 years old. We've been doing this for a while because I started the company 15 years ago after my younger sister had breast cancer. She's fine now, but her oncologist told her to change her diet to an alkaline diet. I helped her figure out what that was, which led me to plant-based nutrition, which led me to algae, the most alkaline, nutrient-dense food in the world that nobody seems to know about. So that was my mission, is to get this to you where it can do some good.
Yeah, and that was kind of what I was wondering as we kind of wrap it up today. We appreciate your time, Dr. Arnston. This has been an incredible conversation, but was that the main thing that you saw, the main problem you were trying to solve for, was the alkalinity or the acidity in diets today? I mean, maybe just for parents and athletes that are listening, so they could get a grasp on maybe like what we're trying to accomplish and what we're trying to avoid.
Yeah, well, it was the initiative because an oncologist is a cancer specialist. So it wasn't her yoga instructor or her neighbor. I mean, this was a highly reputable, scientifically trained medical physician who told her, and it was in Canada because I'm Canadian. So it may not have happened here, but it happened there, and her oncologist was a woman, and women tend to be a little bit more open to nutritional ideas. So it was the alkalinity issue because alkaline things like chlorophyll in plants help build your immune system. That's proven. Interestingly, it's also proven by a German scientist who won a Nobel Prize for this back in the 40s that cancer cannot exist in cells that are alkaline. So keeping your body slightly alkaline is very good for you, for your cells, and for your health. And so algae is the most alkaline food in the world. So even if you don't change your diet, if you still are eating McNuggets and sugar and all that, there is damage going on underneath the surface at the cellular level, but I know how hard it is for people to change. But those cause, literally think about little holes in your boat, and slowly your boat is sinking. Algae fills the holes for you. If you do nothing else, it fills the holes and keeps you afloat so that you won't have that serious illness finally showing up like it does for people. People younger and younger are getting cancer and heart disease and chronic illnesses, and diabetes is on the rise, and so is ADHD and all these other illnesses. Algae is literally the thing that does everything, and I'm happy to share the 100,000 studies. I've read about 4,000 of them that document all this. So it's not conjecture, it's not smoke and mirrors. It just happens to be a perfect fit. By the way, mitochondria, as I mentioned, are these little things in your cells that generate cellular energy. And athletes, listen up. The highest concentration of mitochondria are in your brain, and you need focus to perform. The second highest is in your heart, and that you need to have a strong heart to be able to run fast and do all those great spurts. Guess where the third highest concentration of mitochondria are? In your muscles. So by protecting your mitochondria, you are not only protecting your brain and your focus to have a great game, you're protecting your heart so you have the energy to perform and have all that VO2 and oxygen. You are also protecting your muscles so that you can have a long career and that they are being able to be sustained through your training and your performance. So those three alone to protect your mitochondria, and spirulina is the one that does the most for you there. And I have lots of science to explain the actual the pathways of how it actually works, but just know that it works. There's 25,000 studies that document just one particular nutrient called superoxidismutase. But your brain, your heart, and your muscles, that's what you need, right, as an athlete at any age.
Well, Catherine, thank you for joining us today. We might have to do a part 2, Trevor, on this to dive more into the science of it, because this is a fascinating conversation. But for today, Catherine, is Energybits on social media? I know you mentioned energybits.com. So where can they follow you? Where can they find you?
Facebook, it's Energybits, and we're very science-oriented, so lots of facts, lots of videos. I've done 150 one-minute videos to explain different aspects of the algae. They're also on our website, so just come and learn. I know it takes a while to feel comfortable with new things, so we're here for the long haul. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon, and this is my life purpose, and my life purpose is to help you have a better life.
Well, Catherine, we are truly grateful for all your insights and wisdom for coming onto our show today. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to having more conversations with you about something as simple as algae that can change your life forever. Isn't that how it goes, Trevor? Like the simplest things seem to make the biggest difference. So
definitely. Another great show. Excited about some of the guests that we have coming up. Looks like we might need to have Dr. Arnston back on again for our part 2, but this was, I learned a lot today, and not surprisingly, Dr. Arnston has accomplished great things and is continuing to make an impact in our world. So for anybody listening today, please check out the website, use the discount code GAMEPLAN, and get your Energybits. And then also be sure to check out 4D Leaders newsletter. Check out our resources for parents, coaches, and athletes. And remember to follow 4D Leaders and Jason on social media as well. We have a lot of dynamic content coming your way.
Hey, also be sure to check out Trevor and Bringing the Heat on social media. And, well, that's a wrap for this episode. If you liked the episode, give it 5 stars, leave a review. Hey, you know what? Share with a friend that could use some nutritional advice as well, by the way. And we will see you next time on the Game Plan Show. Have a great day.
There we go.